So Ofcom is back to their usual shenanigans. They're trying to hit 4chan with a giant fine today, and 4chan's lawyer, Preston Byrne, actually sent them a pretty funny response with a giant hamster. So Ofcom is obviously trying to get the entire world to have ID age verification on the platform just so you can breathe. So they issued 4chan community support a provisional decision in relation to sections of their BS Online Safety Act. We gave 4chan the opportunity to make representations about the matter set out in the provisional decision. No substantive representations were received from 4chan. Attached to this email, you will find our confirmation decision in relation to all that type of stuff and what 4chan breached. And it is apparently its duty to conduct a suitable and sufficient illegal content risk assessment in respect of 4chan.org. Its duty to include provisions in the terms of service specifying how individuals are to be protected from illegal content, and its duties to protect children from encountering primary priority content, specifically adult content, through the use of highly effective age assurance under Section 12 of the Act. Highly effective, right? None of it is effective. But anyways, it's just funny because, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, Ofcom is the Office of Communications for the UK. 4chan operates in the United States. So why the hell would 4chan ever listen to Ofcom, especially when it comes to age verification? So 4chan has went ahead and disputed the other fines and basically been like, no, we're not going to go ahead and pay them. But still, they said, as set out in Ofcom's online safety enforcement guidance, 4chan has the opportunity to provide confidentiality representations to Ofcom by 1700 BST on April 2nd, 2026. Yours faithfully, Ofcom enforcement. What the hell? And so this was the lawyer's response, which again is hilarious. Ofcom, thanks. As has been explained to your agency ad nauseum, the UK lost the American Revolutionary War. We are not in the mood to discuss the matter further, and we have not been in the mood for 250 years. I note for the record that last time your agency sent my client a censorship fine, we responded with a hamster joke. Since you have now sent my client a giant fine, a fine so large that Mr. Whisker's enclosure is not big enough to contain it, we will need to send in the fine to Mr. Whisker's giant hamster cousin, Nigel J. Whisker Ford. Unfortunately, Nigel is out of the country this week touring in Japan. Here's a picture of Nigel in Tokyo, dressed up as Godzilla and holding an equally giant peanut. Isn't he just the cutest? And this was the image that he sent Ofcom. I just think it's so funny for them to make fun of Ofcom like this. Nobody should take them seriously, especially when they're trying to go ahead and enforce law outside of the UK. My client reserves all rights and waives none. Reserved rights include the right to sue you again and/or to respond to further correspondence with an even larger rodent such as a marmot. Or maybe you could just stop sending Americans stupid letters and acknowledge the sovereignty of the United States. Burn and storm. I mean, it's just poetic. You can't ask for a better response, to be honest. Preston also pointed out that Ofcom usually makes an announcement of some kind when it drops a fine like this. Today, Zippo. And he did specify that the fine was £520,000 plus daily penalties. This was the whole threatening thing that Ofcom was going ahead and sending 4chan and other companies for going ahead and not having ID age verification. Basically, they're trying to fine people a ton of money for not having ID age verification, even if they operate outside of the United Kingdom, which again, doesn't make any sense. Mind you, in the only country in which 4chan operates, the United States, it is breaking no law, and indeed its conduct is expressly protected by the First Amendment. Clown world. And he also did confirm in the same Twitter thread that he is 4chan's lawyer. So Ofcom actually made a statement about this, saying, we've fined 4chan £450,000 for not having age checks in place to prevent children seeing adult videos on its site. The Online Safety Act is concerned with protecting people in the UK. It doesn't require platforms to restrict what people in other countries see. Okay, so if it's trying to protect people in the UK, then keep it all in the UK. Why are you trying to punish American-based companies for not having ID age verification? It makes no sense. And so this was their statement about it, and oh my god, the statement is so stupid. So they went ahead and started bragging about the fact that they fined 4chan for not having age checks in place to prevent children from seeing adult videos on its website. The UK's online safety watchdog has also fined the company £50,000 for not assessing the risk of illegal material appearing on its platform, and £20,000 for not setting out in its terms of service how it protects people from criminal content. So last year, the Children's Commissioner, and by the way, who knows about the validity of this data? I just can't trust anything that these age verification pushers are saying. But according to that data, they found that 59% of children had stumbled across adult videos accidentally without looking for it. Since then, rules under the UK's Online Safety Act have come into force, meaning that sites that host adult material must use highly effective age assurance to prevent children from readily accessing that content. As in other industries, companies that provide an online service to people in the UK must comply with UK laws. The Online Safety Act Act is concerned with protecting people in the UK, and data shows that nearly 80% of the top 100 adult video websites in the UK now have age checks in place. This means that on average, every day, over 7 million visitors from the UK are accessing adult services that have deployed age assurance. Why didn't you mention the fact that all those people are either also using VPNs now, or they're going to much more dangerous adult video websites that don't have ID age verification just so they can still go watch what they want to watch, and you have actually made it even more dangerous for the people to stumble upon illegal and dangerous content as opposed to a regulated website like the Hub. So they talked about the investigation that they did, and if they don't have highly effective age assurance by April 2nd, they're going to be facing a daily penalty of £500. The company must now carry out a suitable and sufficient illegal content risk assessment by April 2nd or face a daily penalty of £200. So it sounds like these daily penalties themselves are going to be racking up quite a lot of money, but I hope 4chan stands their ground and they're like, yeah, we're not paying this money to you guys. They've also fined 4chan the £20,000, and there might be another daily penalty of £100. I mean, it's just crazy. So Suzanne Cater, the director of enforcement at Ofcom, said companies, wherever they are based, are not allowed to sell unsafe toys to children in the UK, and society has long protected youngsters from things like alcohol, smoking, and gambling. The digital world should be no different. So basically what they want to do is regulate literally everything. With their logic, the entire internet is dangerous, so let's just make it so nobody can use the internet. I mean, this type of regulation is just crazy. The UK is setting new standards for online safety. Age checks and risk assessments are cornerstones of our laws, and will take robust enforcement action against firms that fall short. We have issued 16 fines under the Online Safety Act against 6 companies, totaling near £4 million, several of which have not yet passed their deadlines to pay. We have issued 16 fines under the Online Safety Act against 6 companies, totaling nearly £4 million, several of which have not yet passed their deadlines to pay. The Act states that we must allow firms a reasonable amount of time to pay a fine, which must be at least 28 days. If a company fails to pay a fine, there are various options open to us for seeking recovery of that debt, including through the courts. So basically, this was all about one thing that we already knew it was about. Money. Ofcom just wants money. They want to go ahead and try to act like all these websites are breaking laws or being unsafe for kids, when in reality, they just wanted an excuse to slap all these fines onto all these companies and organizations. I mean, the question is, what do you guys even do with that money that you get? Where does it go? I would imagine that you guys aren't donating it to children's help organizations or anything like that. I imagine that you guys are just keeping the money and using it for your own selfish means. And for those of you guys that don't know, this whole feud between 4chan and Ofcom specifically has been going on for like 7 or 8 months now, with 4chan and Kiwi Farms actually suing Ofcom over this whole ID age verification thing that they're forcing down our throats. But I actually wanted to say one more thing, and I wanted to wait till the end of the video so all the real ones who actually watched the video all the way through will see it. I need to call an organization now, and I know you guys are going to be surprised. But NetChoice, I have given you guys a lot of props before. I've shouted them out in a lot of videos for all the good work that they've done. They are one of the main people fighting against ID age verification right now, and I applaud them for that. However, I have one important question for them that they need to answer. Why are you guys partnered with Meta? Meta has been exposed and revealed to be the main company behind the lobbying of ID age verification and pushing all these age verification laws out into the world. So NetChoice, I'm going to need an answer from you guys. Why the hell are you guys still partnering with them? But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. Please leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more. See ya.